So first of all, welcome. I'm Jonah Copeland.
I'm Luke Baden.
I'm James Bachman.
And I'm Kelsey Lander.
First of all, we would like to start off by thanking you for all your time and help, and especially for this opportunity. We were very grateful. Going in, we created a goal of increasing online sales on not only through OVE, but also through the online lanes. So we planned on doing that by three categories. One, creating trust between Manheim and sellers, and then two, by creating trust between Manheim and the buyers, and three, creating trust between the buyers and sellers themselves. We feel like increasing the trust between all three of these will really benefit the online sales. So we're going to break the presentation down in three categories, and we're going to start off with trust between buyers and Manheim.
So it's a Manheim, but that's okay. So the first thing we want to do is we'd like to put a graphic on your website. This would display, I think you already have, or you will be getting some sort of representation of that. This would display some of the sales that Manheim does over the past week, just some statistics. Because as a seller going to Manheim.com, I want to know that if I put my car on Manheim, that it will get sold. I know during your presentation you talked about the turnaround days and people really needing to sell those cars. So when I go to something like Manheim, my priority is to get my car sold as quickly as possible. So seeing these statistics, seeing that Manheim is such a big player in this industry, gives the seller confidence that Manheim is moving some serious product, and if I put my car on Manheim, that I'm going to get it sold in a good amount of time. The next thing we want to do to create more trustworthy sellers is to create a five-star seller lane, and this would be at the auctions. This lane would be open to any seller who had earned 5 stars on Manheim.com, and because this is the VIP lane, the 5-star sellers lane, this would increase the amount of buyers looking at that lane because they know that the sellers there are trustworthy, they represent their cars well. So that'll attract more people to that lane, make it more desirable for the sellers to get that 5-star rating. This way, more people are representing the cars better on Manheim.com, earning those 5 stars in order to get to this 5-star lane where more people will be buying from.
Next, we would like to increase trust between Manheim and buyers. And how we would do that is by using a different auto transport company. We have found that Manheim recommends Ready Auto Transport as a way for cars and trucks to be shipped off of Manheim's lot, or for sellers to ship the cars to Manheim. And we feel that you can increase trust by recommending UShip as its new auto transport provider. Buyers and sellers can post free listings in less than a minute, and services from UShip, ranging from independent truckers to large freight carriers, can bid on that. So it's just another bidding site for buyers and sellers to use. Buyers and sellers can save on average of 50% by using UShip, and this can increase trust because it tells the buyer or seller that you're looking out for them even though you're not benefiting at all from the savings. Once the bidding has ended, this puts all the ownership on the buyer or seller, so they get to pick the shipper based on price, delivery date, and rating from other customers that have used it before. UShip is also an international company, so they can ship across to any country, and Ready does not. This also shows that you're looking out for them even in the shipping aspect for all over the country, so it increases the trust in that way.
Okay, next we're going to do the trust between buyers and sellers. Our first recommendation is the Manheim seal of approval. When you guys had come, you said that certain people weren't really striving to get the 5-star rating, and this is going to be an incentive to make them get there. The Manheim seal of approval is going to be given to the top 10% of sellers that have the most consistent and reliable cars. This is an example of when you're scrolling through of all the different cars. Like you look at the Jeep and then you see the gold M. That means that you know that they have the Manheim seal of approval. This is, and then when you go to the detailed page, that's where the gold M is, right next to the seller. And in addition to that, another incentive to make them want to be a Manheim seal of approval seller is that under all the cars, so it's going to have all the different types of cars, you're going to have Manheim seal of approval cars. And you'll click on there and it's going to go to every single car that's currently listed on OVE that have been given the Manheim seal of approval. So you know that these cars and these sellers are very reliable and that you're going to get what they show that you're buying.
The next thing that we wanted to create was a seller profile for all the different sellers. We feel like creating trust between the buyers and sellers really means that you get a face to the product that the buyer is going to purchase. And we plan on creating a profile much similar to Facebook, just so, again, the customers or the buyers of these different sellers can really put a face to the product and create trust that they have on this profile. We wanted to have a picture of the seller, and whether it's a big corporation, have the picture of like the CEO, the owner, and going down it has like all the different cars that they have on OVE website or that they've recently sold. And what customers will be able to do is they'll be able to comment on the different transactions that they have had with this customer, rate them, or these sellers, so that way that the new customers really can create trust between the seller and themselves. And if we next, one more thing we wanted to implement was a video chat. Again, this is putting face with the product. So during the transaction time on OVE, we really want the seller, the buyer, to be able to FaceTime or video chat with the seller so they can have a face with the product again. And we wanted to, on the online, we wanted to create it much like Skype. It's an easy platform to use. It's very user-friendly. And we plan on implementing it with PalTalk or RLink. And these are free services where you can embed a video chat link into the website. And we want to implement it also in the app on the phone. And this way, it's much like FaceTime. Again, a very user-friendly product that that's used by many people. So it's many people will be able to know how to use it. It's very easy to use. So now that we've given the presentation, we'd like to open the floor up to you. Do you have any questions for us?
I've got a comment. Guess who runs Ready Auto for Manheim?
You do?
So, very astute though. I mean, you're right on with that. So, Ready Auto's got another product called One Dispatch.
Okay.
It does exactly what U-Ship does.
Okay.
But you're absolutely right. The reason Manheim uses Ready Auto is because they own Ready Auto.
Okay.
You know, trying to keep the margin in-house.
Yeah.
But they've developed a product exactly like U-Ship for the reasons that you talked about. Much lower cost, much more freedom between the buyers and sellers. It's a great catch, a great catch.
It's funny that you mentioned it because we didn't cover it in our presentation at all. You know, so if we would have, you guys probably would have known the connection that was there. But it's a new product to us, so we're really excited about it. So good job.
The video chat, how do you see the video chat working? Do you see it working during a sale at an auction? Do you see it, how do you arrange the time? How do you get the buyer and seller to commit to be online at the same time?
So what we were thinking, again, was mainly using it through OVE.com. Here, I'll go back to the slide really quick. We wanted to use it through OVE.com or through the app, so that's more of like a transaction where you're researching the different cars beforehand, before you make the purchase, not just that split of the moment, 1-minute sale. We want to use it on OVE because, again, this is how many of the buyers are making their living. They're taking this car and they're reselling it, and we wanted to create trust between the buyer and the seller, and without Manheim, and that's where OVE comes in. And so we wanted to implement it there, and whether you can set that up through email or however the customers and sellers really communicate, that's how you can set up a time, or much like how there's help services on different websites where you can say, like, talk with an assistant, and you click, like, you want to have a video time, and you can chat. And again, Skype which we wanted to create a platform that uses that, has a messaging system as well as the video chat.
So do you see the buyer essentially FaceTiming the seller? Is that how you see it working?
That's how, because that way it's not just computer transactions. You mentioned in your presentation before that you have a lot of older clients that like traditional style business, and traditional style business includes face-to-face contact, all that sort of stuff. And so this is a way of integrating like a modern system where you can talk face-to-face from miles and miles apart.
It's cool. I like it. That's good. Whose picture did you use for the seller?
That was just kind of...
Somebody's dad? Did you get him to sign the release? Can we use it? We're going to steal all of it? Very good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for this time and opportunity.